War is an intense armed conflict between states, governments, societies, or paramilitary groups such as mercenaries, insurgents, and militias. It is generally characterized by extreme violence, destruction, and mortality using regular or irregular military forces. For Cicero, war is a contention by force. For Hobbes, war is an attitude, as he tells. By war is meant a state of affairs which may exist even while its operations are not continued. For Clausewitz, war is the continuation of politics by other means. War is desolation, destruction, death. War is a phenomenon of human nature, and the battles are the sole outcome. As Voltaire thinks, famine, plague, and war are the three most famous ingredients of this wretched world. All animals are perpetually at war with each other. Air, earth, and water are the arenas of destruction. War is a concept that's truly like human nature. There are more than one single clear cause of conflict and war. The causes of a war are usually numerous and can often be truly complicated. In our series, we will simplify the main causes of war as 8 main causes. Economic gain. Wars are caused by one country's wish to take control of another country's wealth. Whatever the other reasons for a war may be, there is very often an economic motive underlying most conflicts, even if the stated aim of the war is presented to the public as something more noble. In pre-industrial times, the gains desired by warring country may be precious materials such as gold and silver, or livestock such as cattle and horses. In the modern times, the resources to be gained from the war take form of things like oil, minerals, or materials used in manufacturing. Some scientists believe that as the world's population increases and basic resources become scarce, wars will be fought more often over fundamental essentials such as water and food. From the beginning of our history, man was eager to fight, to kill, to plunder. Territorial gain. A country might decide that it needs more land, either for living space, agricultural use, or other purposes. Territory can also be used as buffer zones between two hostiles. Related to buffer zones are proxy wars. These are conflicts that are fought indirectly between opposing powers in a third country. Each power supports the side which best suits their logistical, military, economical, and political interests. Proxy wars were particularly common during the Cold War and after it. Religion. Religious conflicts can lie dormant for decades, only to re-emerge in a flash. They can often be tied to other reasons for conflict, such as nationalism or revenge for a perceived historical slight in the past. While different religions fighting against each other can be a cause of war, different sects within a region, example Protestant and Catholic, Sunni or Shia, battling against one another, can instigate war. Nationalism. Nationalism, in this context, essentially means attempting to prove that your country is superior to another by violent subjugation. This often takes form of an invasion. Related to nationalism is imperialism, which is built on the idea that conquering other nations is glorious and brings honor and esteem to the conqueror. Revenge. Seeking to punish, redress a grievance, or simply strike back for a perceived slight can often be a factor in the waging war. Revenge also relates to nationalism, as the people of a country which has been wronged are motivated to fight back by pride and spirit. And this can lead to an endless chain of wars being set in motion that are very difficult to stop. Historically, revenge is one of the biggest factors in many European wars. Civil war. Civil wars take place when there is a sharp internal disagreement within a country. The disagreement can be about who rules, how to be ruled, and the rights. These internal rifts often turn into chasms that result in violent conflicts between two or more opposing groups. Civil wars can also be sparked by separatist groups who want to form their own independent country, or, as in the case of the American Civil War, to secede from a larger union. Revolutionary War. These occur when a large section of the population of a country revolts against the individual or group that rules the country because they are dissatisfied with their leadership. Revolutions can begin for a variety of reasons, including economic hardship, injustices, or the oppression by the ruling group. Other factors can contribute too, such as unpopular wars with the other countries. Revolutionary wars can easily descend into civil wars. Defensive war. In the modern world, where military aggression is more widely questioned, countries will often argue that they're fighting a purely defensive capacity against an aggressor or potential aggressor, and that their war is therefore a just war. These defensive wars can be especially controversial when they are launched preemptively, with the supportive argument that we attack them before they inevitably attack us. War is complex, and it is hard to find any philosophical analysis for the topic. In many respects, mostly understanding the war and the philosophy behind it demands a great investigation of all aspects of a thinker's beliefs, as well as presenting an indication of a philosopher's position. Begin to discuss it, you have to walk on a long and complex intellectual way to continue the analysis, whereas a cursory announcement of what one thinks wars can be or points to the culmination of thoughts on related topic and a deduction from one to the other can and should always be made. Man cannot possess anything as long as he fears death, but to him who does not fear it, everything belongs. If there was no suffering, man would not know his limits, would not know himself.